Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about Year 9 Achievement Test, May 2024, Section B, Question 34. Question 34, ABC and CDA are two different right angle triangles. These are the triangles here. Now, calculate the length of CD. Give your answer to three significant figures. In these triangles here, we have this angle ABC 64. BC is 8 centimeters, and the angle ADC is 74 degrees. Now, to find CD, which is this line here, now, in this triangle, we only have the angle. It means we can't find this line until or unless we have the length of one of these lines. And this line is shared between these two triangles. This means that I can find the line AC using the angle 64 and the line BC, which is 8 centimeters. Now, let's do the steps here. First thing we do, we find AC using these two information. I already have the angle. And if you have an angle and a line, it means you can find the length of the other line using what? Very good. Using the trigonometric ratios, SOHCAHTOA. Now let me write SOHCAHTOA here so you understand the idea. So here, first, let's write SOHCAHTOA and use it to answer the question. So SOHCAHTOA. And we have to understand the difference between these three ratios and how to use them to solve problems related to right angle triangles. First, let's make a line between them so we understand every single one of them. So we have three trigonometric ratios. The first one is S, which is the sine, and the sine ratio equals what? Very good, equals opposite over hype. So we take it over here. Let's make it smaller so it fits the place. So the sine of the angle equals opposite divide height, like this. Now, this is the first trigonometric ratio. So when do you use the sine? If you have the opposite and the height and an angle, one of them is missing, and you can use it to find the missing one. And then we have cosine, which is the cosine of the angle, equals adjacent over height, adjacent over height. So we write it like this, adjacent over height. Okay, this is the second ratio. And then the third one, which is TOA and tan. Tan of the angle, let's write it here, tan equals opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent, like this, opposite over adjacent. Now, these three trigonometric ratios can be used to find one of these three, which is missing. Now, with this triangle here, I'm going to find this line, let's call it X, and then use it to find this line, let's call it Y. Now, to find X, I have to understand the first triangle. This is the angle. The X is what? Very good. The X is opposite to the angle. It's opposite to the angle. And this line here is next to the angle. So we call it what? Very good. We call it adjacent to the angle. So this is adjacent to the angle. Like this, adjacent. So we have the adjacent, we need to find the opposite, and we have the angle. This means I'm going to choose one of these trigonometric ratios that has the opposite and adjacent inside of these formulas. So here I can find that the TOA, or I can see that the TOA, or the tan, has the opposite and adjacent. It means I'm going to use the tan. Now, let's write the tan ratio here. First, let's divide the place here. I'm going to use the upper place here to answer the first line, and then the lower place to find the second line. So here I'm going to use the tan. So tan equals opposite over adjacent. First, I write the rule. I write the rule here. So opposite over adjacent. Make sure you always write the formulas so you can get a mark for the formula in some questions. So tan of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. Now the angle is 64. So tan of 64 equals opposite, which is what? Which is x. Let's write x here. Over adjacent, which is 8. over adjacent, which is 8. Now I wrote this like this. Now I need to find the value of x. To find the value of x, this is a fraction, and I can move the denominator only. Focus on this step. We only move the denominators from fractions. Because it's divided, I can take it to this side by multiplying. So the 8 will be multiplied by tan 64. So 8 times tan 64 will equal x. Okay, let's make it capital so you can see. So 8 multiplied by tan. Now this one is multiplied, so I'm going to write it like this, dot, or without any numbers. So 8 multiplied by tan 64 will give me x. This means that the value of x will equal, use the calculator to find out, here, calculator. Always put the 8 first, so 8 times tan 64, and the answer is 16.402, 16.402, like this. And when you round this to 3 significant figures, it's going to be 16.4. So x equals 16.4. X equals 16.4 centimeters. And this is the first step. So we found the value of x, which is 16.4 centimeters. Now we can use it to find the value of y. So the value of x is 16.4 centimeters. Now I'm going to use it to find the value of y in the other triangle. So to follow these steps here, 16.4 and y and the angle 74. So I have to look at the triangle. This is the angle. This is the opposite of the angle, which is 16.4. And this line here is the opposite. This line is the opposite of the right angle, which is the height. So this y here is the height. Now I need to choose one of these trigonometric ratios that fits the triangle that I have here. So I have the opposite and the height. This means I need the opposite and the height in the formula. This means I'm going to use SO, which is sine ratio. Now I'm going to write the sine formula here. Sine of the angle equals opposite divide height. Opposite divide height. Focus on the trigonometric ratios and how to use the right trigonometric ratio for every triangle. So here, sine of the angle, which is 74, so sine of 74 equals opposite, which is 16.4, 16.4, divide the height, which is y. Now, when you look at the fraction that we have here, as we said before, when you rearrange, you can only move the denominator. This is the denominator, which is the y. I'm going to take it to the other side because it's divided. I'm going to make it multiplied. So I will end up with y multiplied by sine 74, like this, and then equal 16.4. Now, I'm going to rearrange again to make the y the subject. And this one is multiplied by sine. This means that I'm going to take the sine of 74 here, sine 74, take it to this side by dividing. Because it's multiplied, I'm going to take it by dividing. So y will equal 16.4, 16.4 divided by sine 74, like this. And now I'm going to use the calculator to find the value of y, like this. So divide 16.4, y equals. So I'm going to use the calculator here, 16.4 divide sine of 74. Fraction, 16.4 divide sine of 74. And the answer is 17.06. So 17.06. And when you round it to 3 significant figures, it means you need 3 numbers in the answer. So 3 numbers means what? It means I'm going to cover the 3 numbers that we want here. And I'm going to look at the number after it, which is the 6. The 6 is a big number. This means it's going to add 1 to the number after. So the final answer is 17.1. So y will equal 17.1, and that's the length of CD. And because the unit is in centimeters, the answer should be in centimeters. And this is how you answer a question like this. So focus on the trigonometric ratios and focus on the triangles that you have in front of you and focus on the lines that you have, because each two or each pair of lines will help you choose the right trigonometric ratio for the answer. And this is how you answer a question like this. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.